Good morning, everyone. Blessed day in the Lord. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, I have a devotion for you. This one is called Ask and Believe. And the reading is from Matthew 21:24. And it says, "If you believe, you will get anything you ask for in prayer." If you believe, you will get anything you ask for in prayer. Don't reduce this grand statement to the category of new cars and paychecks. Don't limit the promise of this passage to the selfish pool of perks and favors. The fruit God assures is far greater than earthly wealth. His dreams are much greater than promotions and proposals. God wants you to fly, people. He wants you to fly free of yesterday's guilt. He wants you to fly free of today's fears. He wants you to fly free from tomorrow's grave, sin, fear, and death. These are the mountains that He has moved. These are the prayers He will answer. That is the fruit that He will grant. This is what He longs to do. God's dreams for your life, people, are greater than promotions and proposals. What things does God want you to fly free of? Don't think that, God will not bless you with extra money or anything like that, because we need that to survive here, and He knows that. Okay? He knows that. So, I know personally, I have personal testimony that the Lord has blessed my husband and I when the times were really, really pressed, and He made things happen that enacted a change, and that change led to either a better salary or somebody coming in to rescue us from something. The Lord works in strange ways, people. You just ask. If the request is sincere and needed, God will hear you. All right, this is called Sowing Seeds of Peace. Sowing Seeds of Peace, and the reading is from Hosea 10:12, and it says, "Plant goodness, harvest the fruit of loyalty, plow the new ground of knowledge." Want to see a miracle? Plant a word of love deep in the heart of a person's life. Nurture it with a smile and a prayer, and watch what happens. An employee gets a compliment, a wife receives a bouquet of flowers, a cake is baked and carried next door, a widow is hugged, a gas station attendant is honored, a preacher is praised. Sowing seeds of peace is like sowing beans. You don't know why it works, you just know that it does. Seeds are planted and topsoils of hurt are shoved away. Don't forget the principle. Never underestimate the power of a seed. And I'll tell you a little story. When I was a teenager, we would meet at a candy store. At that time, in the little inner cities, we had little candy stores. They sold penny candies and things, and we used to meet there before and after school and hang out for a little bit before we went home. And there were all these kids. We all played out in the street. It was not like today. We all, hung out, played hopscotch, all kinds of things. And so I was a little older here, I don't know, maybe 15 or something like that. So there were these little boys that used to run around with shorts on and no shirt. They were playing on the ground a lot, so they were dirty. And I was in the candy store buying something, and he came in, and he was like next to me, little. So I looked down on him, and he was so cute. I don't know, it was just something about his face. He was so cute. And I just reached down, and I just pinched his cheek, and I told him how cute he was, that he was adorable. And lo and behold, maybe this was about, there was a celebration that had been happened in the town that I grew up in many years later, and I went there. It was a big celebration, and he happened to be in the crowd. I don't know, might have been 40 years old, and he recognized me, and he came up to me, and he identified himself, and he was still handsome. Oh boy, was he handsome. And he said to me, he reminded me of what I did in that candy store, and he thanked me for that. And he started to cry because he wasn't growing up in a household. It wasn't a healthy environment where he was growing up. There was a lot of very difficult situations in his household, and he hung on to that his whole life, that little gesture that I did. And he just reminded me of it, and he had tears in his eyes, and I couldn't believe that just that little thing that I did, it was like a little jewel that he held on to through all the storms of his life. And it was just amazing what God does. God does amazing things if you let him. Let him use you to help other people and lift them up. Okay? It's like a little jewel that they hang around their neck. A God jewel. Not an earthly jewel, but a God jewel. All right? That's all I have for you right now, but I'll be back with some more. But for now, shalom.